Dragon Ball villains used to feel terrifying. Frieza felt unstoppable, Cell felt creepy, and Majin Buu felt completely out of control. But now, even when new villains are insanely powerful, they don't always feel scary anymore. And honestly, there's a reason for that. Hey, how's it going? My name is Raph, and today we're going to talk about why Dragon Ball villains don't feel as scary as they used to. Now, this is not about saying modern Dragon Ball villains are bad, because characters like Moro, Goku Black, and even Jiren have great moments. But if you compare them to older villains from Dragon Ball Z, the feeling is different. And a huge part of that comes down to the build-up. Back in the older arcs, villains felt like disasters. Before Frieza even transformed, people were already terrified of him. The Ginyu Force feared him, Vegeta feared him, even the idea of fighting Frieza felt impossible. And then, when he finally showed up and he showed his true power, it felt hopeless. The same thing happened with Cell. He wasn't just strong, he was creepy. The way he absorbed people, the way entire cities disappeared, and the way the heroes struggled to stop him made him feel dangerous before the big fight even started. And then there's Majin Buu. Buu felt chaotic. You never knew what he was going to do next, and that unpredictability is what made him terrifying. But now in modern Dragon Ball, things are different. A lot of newer villains feel more like powerful opponents instead of an actual threat. And part of that is because Dragon Ball is much lighter now. There are more jokes, brighter visuals, and less time spent building fear around the villains. Another reason is that the heroes feel too strong sometimes. Back then, it felt like the Z fighters were struggling to survive. Now, Goku and Vegeta are fighting at godlike levels constantly, so it becomes harder for villains to create that same fear. And because transformations and power jumps happen so often now, fans sometimes focus on the how strong the villain is instead of how threatening they actually feel. But honestly, one of the biggest differences might just be the atmosphere. Dragon Ball Z slowed things down. Moments sat longer, music felt heavier, and villains were allowed to feel intimidating before the action even started. Modern Dragon Ball moves faster and focuses more on excitement and hype. And while that still can be fun, it creates a very different feeling. So when people say Dragon Ball villains don't feel scary anymore, they're not just talking about power. They're talking about tension, they're talking about atmosphere, and they're talking about the feeling that things could actually go wrong. And there you have it. Which Dragon Ball villain do you think felt the scariest? And do you think modern Dragon Ball could ever capture that feeling again? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.